The notes that we started yesterday where we're still solving proportions and we're using cross products to do so. So we still have the same learning goal. I can use cross products property to solve proportions. Okay, so yesterday what we had is we were introduced to proportions that have sometimes more than one term in a numerator and or a denominator. And so what did we have to do when that was the case? What was our strategy that helped us be successful with solving proportions when there's more than one term in a numerator and or a denominator? What did we have to do with that numerator or that denominator? Put it in parentheses. We had to make sure both terms of that numerator denominator got multiplied by. Okay, so let's go to work doing. Today I am going to let you out of check problems. You just have to do the solving for me today, okay? If you want to do a check problem, you may, but you do not have to. You're not required today. Okay, so somebody give me a set of cross products we can set up here for this problem. Jesse?
6 and then in parentheses 3m plus 1.
Okay, 6 times 3m plus 1 with the 3m plus 1 having to be in parentheses. And then Jesse, what would the other side be?
Equals 7 in parentheses 2m.
Okay, so we can show parentheses for multiplication also. So parentheses on the left side have two roles. They have to show that we have an addition problem that has to be, the whole addition problem has to be multiplied by 6. And then they're also showing, we didn't show a multiplication dot, they're also showing multiplication. On the other side, we could either use a multiplication dot, or we can put the 2m in parentheses to show multiplication. Okay, go ahead and do the next step, which would be doing the multiplying. And then see if you agree with me. Oftentimes, if you're making mistakes in these, what ends up happening is when we're doing distributive property, we sometimes forget to do the second multiplication. So if you catch yourself getting wrong answers, sometimes that might be the reason. You forget to do like in the 6 times 3m, you remember to do that, but then you put plus 1 instead of taking the 6 times the 1. What are we going to do next here now? Because now we're ready to, to actually solve this. They have an equation that we're going to solve. Noah, what would we do?
Minus 18m from 14m.
Okay, we can subtract 18m from both sides. That's one move we could make. What's another one we could make? Cody?
Subtract the 6 from both sides.
We can subtract the 6 from both sides. Okay, what's another move we could make?
That's pretty much it.
Oh, there's another one.
You could.
No, we don't want to divide first, because if we divide by 14, everything's not divisible by 14 nicely, so it would make it ugly for us. We could, divide, but it would make it ugly. Could we subtract 14m from both sides?
Yes.
What would happen on the right side if we did that?
It'd be 0.
It would be 0. We just put a 0 there. But, okay, so we actually have more than one first move we could make. We'll go with what I gave Noah the choice of doing. He says, let's subtract 18m from both sides. So what ends up happening, what's going to happen with some of them today is you're going to end up, after you do your cross products property, you're going to end up with variables on both sides, and we got to remember, how do we solve equations when there are variables on both sides? So what's the equation read now? What's the equation read now after I subtract 18m from both sides? 6 equals negative 4m. Okay. And what are we going to do next? There is only one move to make now. What is that move we're going to make?
4 by both sides.
Oh, I tell you what, we got to get your speaking reversed. He says we're going to divide negative 4 by both sides. And how we would say that? Divide negative 4 by both sides.
Divide 6 by both sides.
Divide both sides by
-4.
negative 4. Division is fussy, you guys. We got to say it properly. We have to divide both sides by negative 4. So 6 is going to get divided by negative 4. Negative 4m is going to get divided by negative 4. And as I said earlier, if we would have divided first, it would have been ugly, but we, still not, at the end here, 4 doesn't go into 6 nicely, does it? But is that a problem? We don't need our calculators. Stop. Get your fingers off of them. What's a positive divided by a negative? Negative. How many times can you take a 4 out of 6? Once. And how much is left over? A 2. So 2/4, which is a half. Yeah, we don't need a calculator. We're better than that. Okay, so -1 and 1/2. Which another name for it would be -1.5. Another name for it would be, what if we left it as an improper fraction? What might be an improper fraction name in an answer bank for -1 and 1/2? Improper fraction name. Aurora? And -3/2. -3/2. Okay, so we got to know that there are different names for the same value on the number line, but how will they show it to us in an answer bank? Just like happened when you were just correcting your homework. Someone said, I have 0.6, but the book says 3/5. Are they the same number, just different names for it?
Yes.
3/5 is the same as 0.6. Okay, so we have to understand that, okay? It's kind of an important thing to be able to do is rename numbers. Okay, you go ahead and try the next one on your own, see how it goes. Let's see if we all come up with an answer that we think is good. Josie.
Why'd you do plus negative and parentheses?
Oh, because it's just a good habit to get into because sometimes there's a subtraction going on. We have a longer problem and there's a subtraction in front of the number we have to distribute
Do you
with.
have to do that?
We don't have to. But as we continue going on, we're going to learn that actually changing to add the opposite is going to be beneficial to us. So for right now, in these, not necessarily. No. Okay? Any other questions? Did you get the same answer I did? We're checking each other out. Remember, we don't have to show check problems. So if we all get the same answer, we're going to feel good about it. If you did not get this answer, do you want to convince us that yours is right, or do you want to find your mistake? So we all got this answer? Okay. So we're ready to start on homework? Okay. Do you have to show check problems?
No.
No. Can you?
Yes.
Yes, you always can.